Okay, the technique that I'm going to teach you is called paraphrasing technique. Okay, paraphrasing technique is very, very important in terms of your different things. Okay, paraphrasing, it will help you in forming the sentence, in also in terms of it, because speaking, before you speak, right, you need to form the sentences. So forming sentences, that's called writing. You form the sentences in your mind or in terms of your writing. So before you say out, you need to know how to paraphrase it. And paraphrasing techniques is very important. First off, it will help you to be sensitive to the word choice. You will know your word choice. You'll be very, very sensitive to what kind of words I need to use when I do speaking or when I do writing. Secondly, paraphrasing will help you to understand the whole idea, the context of it. And you'll be able to bring out the key idea, the main idea of that particular passage. And thirdly, paraphrasing, it will prevent you from committing plagiarism. You know what's the meaning of plagiarism? Plagiarism.
No.
Plagiarism, basically, later I'll show you, means 抄袭, because when you go up to college or university years, right, you have to do research, and after that you do presentations, right? You have to do presentations. So when you do paraphrasing, right, you will protect yourself from being charged because of plagiarizing. Plagiarizing means you copy and paste people's work. Okay, paraphrasing technique is very, very important. So when you do research paper, right, before you present your work to the professor, to lecturers, right, and you have to know how to do paraphrasing in your writing and also presenting as well. So, and thirdly is paraphrasing will also help you in terms of your writing and speaking as well. So paraphrasing is very important. Another meaning for paraphrasing is rewriting, rewording it, rephrasing it. Paraphrasing, another meaning for paraphrasing means rephrasing it. Can you write down in your exercise book, rephrasing? I understand this topic is not easy. It's a bit tough, but we have to go through this one. If you want to improve your language, right, you need to know how to rephrase the thing. Rephrase or reword it. Reword the thing. So do you understand the meaning paraphrasing?
Yes.
Okay, you understand, huh? Okay. Have you done writing, paraphrasing this word? Okay,
yeah.
All right. So steps for paraphrasing. Can you read out these 5 steps?
Get a big idea, reword, rearrange, realize, recheck.
Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, get a big idea. So yeah, just a moment. Get a big idea. When you receive a text, right, you have to understand whether it's a sentence or a paragraph. You have to understand the context of it and understand the main idea. How do you get the main idea? Basically, is the skill of getting the keywords, getting the trunk, the main trunk, the key phrase, the keywords. In that sentence, there must be something that is being emphasized. Okay, so which one is being emphasized in that particular sentence? So when you read that sentence, particular sentence or particular paragraph, they will keep emphasizing certain things. You have to get the main idea. So first step is get the main idea or main gist. Okay, we call it gist. Gist means big idea, the main big idea. All right. Then next step is to reword it. Can you write down first? Get the main idea first step. I will send this file to you. If you don't want to write, it's okay. I will send this file to you. But if you want to write, it's okay also because you can remember better. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Next one. Can I move to the next slide?
Yes.
Okay. Next one is to reword it. This is the second step. Step 2, can you read out? Put the information.
Put the information you want to write in your own words and your own order. Use synonyms wherever possible.
All right. So synonyms, what is the meaning of synonyms? Do you understand? Synonym?
Like another words that have the same meaning.
Correct. 同义词 synonym means 同义词. All right. What is the opposite meaning? What do you call that? If it is the opposite meaning, it's called
反
antonym 反义词. Okay, yeah, 反义词 antonym. Okay. So you have to reword it. Reword it means you have to rewrite the meaning of the things. Rewrite the word using another word. Reword means using another word to write out. It's called reword. And how do you reword? There's another technique we call it considering changing different part of speech. Part of speech in English, there are 8 parts of speech altogether. There are 8 parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection. They are altogether 8 parts of speech. So for English, right, noun can be changed into verb. Verb can be changed into adjective. Adjective can also change back to noun, can also change to adverb. They are interchangeable by adding affix. Affix is certain accessory, something like the words, right? You can add something, a small word right in front or a small word at the end of a verb. By adding those affixes into the word, so that word, the class will change. They will change the class from noun become, it suddenly become adjective. Adjective suddenly become adverb. So for English, right, so you can change the class of the verb interchangeably by adding certain suffixes or prefixes. Okay, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so I give you example, for example, like, okay, if I say, prepare. What is the class part of speech? Do you know prepare is? What part of speech is prepare? What is the part of speech? Is it noun? Is it adjective? Is it adverb? Is it verb? What is the part of
Verb.
speech? Yes, correct. Verb. It's a verb. Now I want you to change to a noun. How do you change it to noun? Can you change it?
Preparation.
Right, good job. So you write, so you have preparations. You have preparations, right? And if I want some other words, for example, beautiful. What part of speech is beautiful?
Adjective.
Right. Okay. If I want it to be changed to adverb, so how do you do it? Adverb is used to
Beautifully.
describe a verb, right? So how do you change it?
Beautifully.
Right. Beautifully. If I want it to be changed to a noun, how do you change it?
Beauty.
Right. Beauty. Good job. And you know the sentence, the position is different in a sentence, right? The position of each word in a sentence is different, correct or not?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why when we do the paraphrasing, right? When we do speaking, paraphrase what people say, right? We can do the rewording by changing the class of the word. 把它的 the part of speech change to another class. So this is part of the techniques of, we call it paraphrasing. Okay, so I give you more example here. Now you look at this sentence, right? Can you read out this sentence?
The detective was determined to
Determined,
was determined to catch the
delinquent.
delinquent responsible for the burglaries.
Okay, until here first. So the detective 侦探 was determined. Determined means having a strong will. Okay, determined, the part of speech is adjective. In Chinese translation is 坚定的意志, a strong will to catch the delinquent. Delinquent is a noun. It means offender or criminal. 就是犯罪的人叫做 delinquent. Delinquent can be used as a noun in this context, but it can also be used as an adjective. Later I'll show you, okay? Responsible for the burglaries. Burglaries, responsible 就是他们对偷窃案是responsible 的，他们是how to translate in Chinese? Do you understand the meaning? I find it difficult to translate in Chinese. It means they are the one who did the burglary. Okay, the delinquent. So the detective has showing the strong will to catch. So if you do the paraphrasing, right? How to paraphrase a sentence? So you need to highlight. You need to know the keywords here. The keyword here is determine and catch and responsible. Okay, so some of the words you can change. So can you read out this one? After paraphrase, it becomes like this. So can you read out?
The detective exhibited show a strong determination to
Apprehend
the individual engaging in delinquent acts who was accountable for the thief.
Thefts.
Theft.
Okay, all right. So here you see this paraphrasing, right? For this level is a little bit high because the person is using another B2 level words like exhibit. Exhibit means show a strong determination. This one is a noun. Apprehend means to arrest. Arrest means to catch. Arrest means to catch. The individual means the particular person, the particular criminal engaging. Engaging means participated in delinquent. Delinquent here is an adjective. 这个 delinquent means 犯罪的行为。Delinquent, the meaning is crime. It can also means delinquent 就是crime related acts， 就是说有犯罪的这个行为 is an adjective. Over here is a noun, right? But over here becomes an adjective. Responsible means who was accountable for the thefts. Okay, so if I want to rephrase simple way, okay, let's rephrase do a simpler way of rephrasing. Okay, how are we going to rephrase? You can say the detective, had a strong will, strong determination, to arrest the criminal for the theft has he committed. Okay, did you see? This is another way of rephrasing it, but I use the different class of the different part of speech. I use different part of speech to make changes. Do you see? Because determination is the key words here. Okay, you got it?
Yes,
because I don't
okay.
want to use the big words. The big words means the person is already in C1, C2 level already, but it's okay. But if you are able to translate over here, you are safe. You are still in B2 level. It's still okay. B2 is good. It's considered A plus, A to A plus. Okay. But if you want to be higher, then you have to memorize those C2 words over here. These are called C2 words. This one is consider this one is B2 level. It's good enough. It's good. Okay, so you got it. So this is how we call it the different part of speech from noun, from adjective, determine. I change it to noun because this is the key words that I want to emphasize. Okay, you got it, huh? So next one, the next step is rearranging. Rearrange. So can you read out this one? Rearrange words.
Rearrange words within sentences and ideas with paragraphs. By rearranging, you are changing the structure of the text to make it your own.
Right. Okay, so basically rearrange, that means within the sentence, right, the word order, you can rearrange it, you shuffle it, you rearrange it. And the one of the simplest way, I call it flip the sentence. Flip the sentence meaning the second sentence can go to the front don't go to the second. Or I can use active to passive, passive to active voice. Have you heard about passive voice sentence, active voice?
Yes.
For example, like this, simplest one is called like this. Wow. Okay. Okay, hang on. Make it bigger. So can you, so this sentence is an active sentence, right? This sentence is active sentence, active voice. Active voice. Active voice, that means the person, the subject has done, the subject has done on the object itself is called active. But if the object is done by someone else, it's passive. So you change it to passive voice. How do you change it? Okay. The money was had been stolen by Kim admitted. Okay, I will say this one, he admitted or he admitted. Okay, like this one. So the second phrase is called passive sentence, passive voice. But does it mean the same thing? Does it mean the same thing?
Yes.
It means the same thing, right? The money, one is he has stolen the money, one is the money had been stolen by him. So this is called passive voice. Okay, another more example over here. So you read this one first. Come on.
The teacher's understanding of the students' needs allowed enable her to tailor her lessons effectively.
Right. Look at this sentence, right? The teacher's understanding. Understanding is a noun because this is the key words here. The key word. Okay, so I highlight it. Of the student's needs. Allowed or enable her to tailor her lesson. Okay, tailor is also another keyword. All right, her lessons effectively. Effectively is an adverb. So now you want to reverse the order. You flip the sentence. How do you flip it? So you can say, instead of the teacher right in front, right, you change it to the second. You say by comprehending or by understanding or by identifying the student's needs, comma, the teacher was able to change it to customize her lesson with great effectiveness. Effectively is an adverb. I change it to noun, effectiveness. So basically, here in this sentence, you have flipping technique and also changing the class of the verb. You change the part of speech. In this sentence, there are two techniques that is being involved. One is flipping the sentence. The other one is changing the class of the verb. Okay. Here, understanding if you think understanding is already basic, you don't want to change, it's okay. You don't have to. So you change it to a verb. So I still use understanding, but I change it to verb. Okay, yeah, why not? By understanding, understanding here is a verb, but here teacher's understanding is a noun, right? The student's need, the teacher was able to. Allow her means was able to. Tailor means customize. 量身定做。他的 lesson effectively. 他一个老师如果知道学生的需要，他就能够在他的 lesson 里面很具体的量身为学生定做那个 lesson plan 啊，就很有效的很有效的定制他的对学生的 lesson plan。Okay, so effectively means 有效。Here, it means the same thing. It's just the reverse order only. By comprehending, by understanding, by identifying the student's needs, the teacher was able to customize. 这个老师能够量身定做他的，为学生量身定做他的 lesson with great effectiveness. 把 adverb change it to noun. So, can you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so another way of rephrasing, you can use if sentence. Do you want to try this one? Can you try this one? This one is, there are different ways of paraphrasing. It's not always one way. There are always different ways. Please look at this sentence and try to use your own words to rephrase. Okay, you can type in the chat box. You can use if, 如果. And you can mention about the opposite. If you can't rephrase, right, you talk about the opposite. Opposite means 反过来 opposite. Use if. If you don't want to use if, it's okay. You try your best. Okay, I want you to try out this one. Are you typing or thinking? Still thinking?
Thinking.
Okay. How about you use if I give suggestion? 如果
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, you use the one, huh? All right. You want me to give you a hand?
I think I can try.
Okay, good. You can use some of the words here, over here. Some of the words here. Some of the words you pick up from here. Okay. But different structure. Okay, you got it? Are you still typing? Okay, let's look at here. Okay. All right, so I copy out your work, yeah? Hang on. Okay, good try. Let me put down here. I think I will give another way. Okay. Okay, let's look at the sentence together. All right. If teacher isn't understand, okay, here remember, if the teacher, this one, if the teacher doesn't, okay, so this one try, because isn't is a helping word. Isn't cannot come alongside with another verb. You can use ing with isn't, but understanding is no, it's not, it cannot work this way. So you have to use doesn't. And if the teacher doesn't understand students' needs, then she, because it is still a present tense, right? You look at the whole thing, right? Present tense. This one is because you are telling the truth, right? You are not talking about the things as in the past. You are talking about the general situation, the general facts, because it is still true today, right? So you need to use present tense. So she is not able, or she is not able to customize her lessons with great effectiveness. Good job. Okay, basically it's this one, the problem of the tense issue. Okay, are you here with me? Hello, are you here? I suddenly see you being moved out from the Zoom and then come back in. Are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think maybe because Zoom is running out of time, so it's 9 minutes plus. It's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so you look at here, if the teacher, just like you say, isn't understand, right? We cannot use isn't, because you are using the negative sentence, you cannot use isn't. You have to change isn't to doesn't. Negative sentence, you need doesn't. Present tense, you use doesn't. Understand? Okay, doesn't understand student, then she is not able. You cannot use was not able, because you are addressing the fact. The fact is still true today. Because basically the teacher need to customize her lesson and under students' needs, right? So it is still true today, it's not in the past. Because if you use wasn't, that means it's only true in the past, but not today. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, why? So tell me why we cannot use wasn't. Why we cannot use was not? Why was not cannot be
Because
used?
it's a because it is present, and it's it's not a past tense, and teachers now is really needs to understand students first, so that he or she can customize their lessons.
Right, correct. So that means this is the fact that is still true today. The fact that is still true today，就是今天这个事实仍然是对的，仍然是 exist。OK，明白吗？All right. So this is a good way of writing. So I want to use another way. If I can say, if the teacher, okay, doesn't understand students' needs, she or he is okay. She is not, she not Okay, so if the teacher doesn't understand students' need, she cannot make an effective customized lesson plan for them. Does the meaning the same as the previous one? Is it the same?
Yes.
It's the same, right? But I change it to adjective. I change it to adjective, okay? And also customize, I change it to adjective. So I play with the class. I play with the class of the verb part of speech. I just play with it. But you have to know the position of the word. So and your sentence it also makes the same. It also resembles the same meaning as the previous one. It's the same as this one, right? Correct or not? Okay, so this is how you make changes. Okay, so next one, step 4 is to realize sometimes in a certain sentences there are certain words you cannot reword it. You cannot change the word because it's already it's either too basic to understand, people already understand the words, or because the word is too hard to rephrase. So what are you going to do it? So in this case, try to say them differently so you are not copying the author. Author means the person who the original author's text. Okay, so you can still retain the word. Retain the word 就是用回同样的字 retain。你可以继续用回同样的字 retain. You can still retain the word. That means use the same word. Use the same word, but you rearrange it. You say it differently. You rearrange the order. You say it differently. Or if you truly cannot reword it right, you use quotation mark. Sometimes it's okay to put an author's word in quotation marks if you cannot find another way to communicate the idea. Quotation marks means you honor the author. 这个作者他写的这个字，你已经没有其他方法可以改了，找不到其他的字去解释它。So you can use quotation, quote and quote. You can say quote and quote. Okay, when you say out certain words, right? The author say quote and quote. You can say when you're giving your speech, right? Giving your speaking, you say the author said this quote and quote and quote this. You can say it like this, quote and quote. Okay, this word, quote and quote. So basically is, we call it 6699 in Chinese. Okay, hang on, let me make it bigger so they can see. Quote and quote. All right, use this one to honor the author because you really cannot find other ways to communicate the idea. So you can use quote and quote things to represent. So another thing is recheck. Finally, once you're done, right, you recheck your whole thing, check the grammar, check the idea, the big idea, see whether it maintains the same idea of the original text. So you recheck your word to make sure you have not plagiarized. Plagiarize, this is the word that I have mentioned just now. Plagiarize. Plagiarize means, do you understand the meaning plagiarize right now?
Not really.
Plagiarize means 抄袭, copy, copycat. Okay, copycat means you copy and paste only, plagiarize. So because you in future, right, when you go to college or university, right, you need to do presentations, right? So you do research paper, right? Whether in terms of your writing or you're delivering the presentations, you need to know how to rephrase your research work because you have to read a lot of books, right? And then you read the writer's work, right? So you cannot copy and paste. You have to learn how to rephrase, reword it. So that's why it will protect you from being condemned of plagiarism. Because plagiarism, right? The teacher will not will not accept your work because the teacher said, hey, this is a plagiarized work. They will not accept the work. It's actually it's a serious offense in research paper. Okay, plagiarism is something serious, all right? So have to be very careful. So rephrasing techniques is very important. So do you understand the meaning of plagiarize? 抄袭.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So when you recheck your word, reread it and make sure it doesn't sound the same as the information you read. Make sure. So you have to double check. So the idea, the meaning is the same, but the wording is different. Okay, so also when you recheck your word, make sure you included the most important ideas. That means the key ideas, you have to include it. You can actually scrap off those kind of irrelevant or unnecessary information, but the key must be there. All right, so this is called you have to recheck your word. All right, so what about numbers? How do you do basically today, what we are learning today is basically to give you the principle of paraphrasing. And then for practicing wise, we will have another session to do that because I need to lay out the principle first very carefully. All right, what about number? How do you do it? What could you do with the numbers? For example, they give you a number, right? So you can round the number up or down. Or you state the number as a fraction, you flip a percentage and describe the opposite. For example, like they says that, let me give you another like this.